This is the story of something that happened to my cousin's best friend, and it still gives me chills whenever I think about it. I am going to tell you everything exactly how it was told to me. So listen carefully, because once you hear it, you might never look at birthdays the same way again. It was a few years ago. My cousin's friend Ethan was turning 19. Nothing too special about that, right? But Ethan loved birthdays. He was the kind of guy who made a big deal out of every little celebration. His parents had gone away on a short trip, so Ethan decided to throw a small party at home. Nothing crazy. Just a few friends, some pizza, music, and video games. The night started out great. People showed up laughing, bringing him little gifts and cards. Someone even brought a cake that said, "Happy 19th, Ethan," in big messy letters. They all took selfies, made jokes, and played music a little too loud. It felt like one of those nights you don't forget, but not for the reason they thought. Around midnight, a knock came at the front door. Ethan thought it was another friend arriving late. He ran to open it, smiling, ready to shout, "You're late." But when he pulled the door open, there was no one there. Just empty street. It was strange, but not creepy yet. He laughed it off, thinking maybe it was some kids messing around. 15 minutes later, another knock. Louder this time. Heavy, like someone using their fists. The music stopped for a second. Everyone turned toward the door. Ethan looked at his friends and shrugged. He opened it again. Still, no one. Only this time, there was something different. A small box was sitting on the doorstep. It was about the size of a jewelry box, wrapped in plain black paper. No note, no card. Ethan called out into the night, "Hey, who left this?" But there was no answer. He laughed nervously, picked it up, and brought it inside. Everyone gathered around as he opened it. Inside the box was a key. Just a plain, old-looking key tied to a thin piece of dirty string. That's it. No explanation. No label saying what it unlocked. Everyone thought it was a prank. They joked about it for a bit and tossed the key onto the coffee table, then went back to eating and hanging out. But something in the room had changed. The air felt heavier, a little colder. Even the music didn't sound as loud or happy anymore. About an hour later, people started leaving. It was getting late. Only a few close friends stayed behind to help clean up. Ethan was stacking pizza boxes when he noticed something weird. The key, it was gone. He asked everyone if they moved it. Nobody had touched it. They searched the whole room, looked under the couch, even checked people's pockets thinking maybe someone picked it up without thinking. It was just gone. That's when they heard it. A faint creaking noise coming from upstairs. Ethan's parents' bedroom, to be exact. It sounded like the door swinging open slowly. Now remember, no one was supposed to be upstairs. Ethan's parents locked their room before leaving, and Ethan had no reason to go in there. Trying to be brave, Ethan grabbed a broomstick. Yeah, not a real weapon, but better than nothing, and went up to check. His two friends followed behind him, whispering and stepping carefully. The door to the master bedroom was wide open. Inside, it was dark, but when Ethan flicked the hallway light, they could see something even creepier. Muddy footprints. like someone had walked straight from the bedroom doorway into the room, but never walked out. The footprints were large, way bigger than any of theirs. They stood there frozen for a minute, not sure if they should go in or run for their lives. Ethan, stubborn as always, took a step inside. He scanned the room, heart pounding in his ears. At first, it looked empty. But then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw someone, standing at the far side of the room, facing the wall. It looked like a person, tall, wearing all black, completely still, not moving, not breathing, just standing there. Ethan backed out slowly, whispering to his friends, "Get out, now!" They bolted down the stairs, almost tripping over each other, grabbed their stuff, and ran outside. Ethan called the police while they stood shivering on the front lawn, looking at the dark windows of the house. When the cops arrived, they searched the whole house. Every room, every closet, under every bed, they found nothing. No muddy footprints, no tall man, no open doors. It was like the house had swallowed everything up. The officers said it must have been a prank. Maybe the kids imagined it because of the spooky vibe. They told Ethan to lock the doors and go to bed. But Ethan couldn't sleep. None of them could. They all crashed at a friend's house instead. The next morning, Ethan went back to grab a few things. As he opened the front door, he noticed something taped to it. It was a photo. A printed picture of Ethan and his friends at the party, taken from outside the living room window. In the photo, you could clearly see all of them laughing and smiling, and behind them, inside the house, near the stairs, was the tall man, standing there, watching them. He wasn't blurry or hidden. He was right there, in the photo, like he belonged in the group. Only he didn't. The police opened an investigation after that, but they never found out who the man was. No fingerprints, no forced entry, no clues. It was like he had just appeared out of thin air. And the key? It was never found again. Ethan never celebrated another birthday at home. In fact, for the next few years, he didn't celebrate at all. He said he didn't want to invite anything back in by accident. Some people say it was a ghost. Others think it was a real person. Maybe someone who knew Ethan somehow. Maybe someone who picked his birthday night on purpose. All I know is, after hearing that story, I always check who's behind me in every photo, every single time. And if I ever find a random box on my doorstep, I'm not opening it. Ever.